Hey there, and welcome back to Microsoft Teams 101, a place where you can learn the ins and outs of Microsoft's classroom-based learning platform. I'm Mr. Tofts, your school librarian. In the previous videos, we covered Microsoft Teams' interface. We also covered how to use the Files tabs and the Conversation thread with students. Give them both a watch if you haven't seen them, or you just simply need a refresher. But let's just jump into this third video that covers maybe one of the biggest reasons a teacher uses a learning management system like Microsoft Teams, and that's assignments. So let's just go right back into Microsoft Teams here. I'm going to click on it from the main page, and we're just going to open up right into the last place that we left off. Now, right off the bat here, I'm going to go right into my AP research team that I demoed and started up in the previous video. But just know that on the interface side of things over here, on that very first video, I had talked about that there is an assignments tab here. There's also an assignments tab within the team, but I'm going to just click on this one first. Now, what this does is this assignments tab right here will bring up, and it's new if you haven't, if you've used this prior. If you haven't, then this is the way that it looks from here going forward. It opens up into these three different things, drafts, assigned, and graded. Now, students will see assigned and graded, and only teachers will see drafts, and those are drafts that you are making of new assignments. Now, the one thing that happens when you click on this is that it's all of your drafts, all of your assignments, and all of your graded assignments that are existing in all of your teams. So if you have, let's say, 4 different teams, it's going to pool all of the assignments together, which may be something you want. However, I find that when I am grading, I kind of just like to focus on one class at a time, and having all these different assignments up here causes a little bit of like, chaotic anxiety for me, and I like to just focus on one team at a time. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment, but if you're someone that likes this and you want to just create assignments right from here, you absolutely can. So when I click this, I'm going to create a quiz. I can create an assignment, or I can create from an existing assignment that I've already made. So just for right now, I'm going to click on quiz, and it's going to show you that I can choose a class where I want to create this assignment. And I can pick on, let's say I have my AP research class, and I want to move on with that. Now with a quiz specifically, it's going to ask me to link it up to a Microsoft form, one that I can create right here, or maybe one that I've already created in here. So if I wanted to create an assignment based on this DuckTales quiz, I absolutely could. However, I'm not going to. I'm going to click cancel right here because I want to get out of this, because I don't find this to be the best place to make assignments. I find the best place to make assignments is directly within the team. So I'm going to go back into my AP research team, and I was already in it, but just to go back, I'll go back into it. So you will see up here we covered conversations, we covered files, and I am jumping over class notebook and going right to assignments. Now the reason why I'm doing that is because class notebook, while it is a great feature of Microsoft Teams, it goes into a completely other application called Microsoft OneNote, which is a really great note-taking tool that Microsoft has and that they've integrated with Microsoft Teams. However, I find it to be a very advanced, integration for teachers, especially if they're just starting out, kind of getting their feet wet using digital learning management systems. And for that reason, I'm not making it the next video after the one that I previously made. I will probably make it the 4th video in this series, and I want to jump right over to assignments because I really think that more teachers will use assignments than they will use class notebook. But if it's something you're interested in, please look for it in the next video in the series. But know that if you don't use class notebook, it will not change anything that we've done before or anything that I will mention after. So I'm going to click on assignments right here. Now, you can kind of see right here that I have that sort of same exact drafts assigned and graded. However, you can see if I click on drafts now, I don't have any drafts, I don't have any assignments, and I don't have anything graded if I open those tabs up. Now, I'm going to close them just so that I can see here. That is because everything that is in this assignments tab is focused just on this AP research team, and I didn't make any assignments for them. I know I started that DuckTales quiz, but I didn't actually create it, so it's not going to show up in here. And this is just going to be stuff relegated to my AP research. So any other team that I have is not going to show up in here. And that's why I like to do assignments within the team than in this assignments tab. Now, something that's really cool that I'm going to use right here is this little tab right here. You'll see this on assignments. You'll see it on class notebook if you choose to use it. But when I click on this, it is going to make that a little bit bigger, and you can kind of see it gets rid of this information on the side, which is fine to do when you're within the team. So right off the bat, I have the options here to create, and it's giving me that exact same thing. So if I wanted to create from an existing assignment that I have already made, I can click on that. So let's say I had something in this 9th grade ELA test team, and I wanted to click on it. I can actually build an assignment from a previous one that I had. So if I had like this summer instruction one that I had, I could click on that and I could build it from there. But I want to make an assignment fresh for you right now. So I'm going to click create. I'm going to go to assignment, and you're going to see the assignment page pop up here. Now, there are certain things that must be filled in, which mainly the name, but then there's a lot of stuff that I have that I can add here. So let's just call this, since I started talking about summer school, summer assignments in the previous video, let's make a summer assignment for AP research. There we go. Now, if I wanted to add a category, I could. Adding a category really just like adds kind of like a hashtag to it. It's for searching purposes. So let's say I wanted to make one for assessments. Let me spell that correctly. There we go. It adds it there and it categorizes it. However, if you don't do that, or if you don't categorize your assignments, nothing bad will happen. I can delete it easily just like that. A lot of the times I start off categorizing, then I kind of fall off doing it. Either way is fine. I could leave instructions. I don't have to. I generally like to leave instructions. So let's say I want the students to please read the information document before you start your answers. And let's say I want them to view a link. Then view the link provided. And then finally, place all your answers in the answer document that I provided for you. Those are the instructions that I want to leave for the students. And if I want to make this even more, let's highlight all that. Let's add some numbers there and have some formatting problems. Let's delete some stuff here. There we go. Cool. Now it looks nice and official. I have step 1, step 2, step 3. And this kind of mimics really the conversations thread that I kind of went over in the last video of how you type in there. Let's go right into here where I'm adding resources. So a lot of the times when you make an assignment, you are going to add some resources, whether that be a task sheet, whether that be links, whether that be a place or document to attach for the students to write in. So I'm going to click add resources, and I'm given a bunch of different options here. I'm given my OneDrive where I can search through. So let's say I want to attach that that summer reading document that I had in the previous video when I was setting up the files for the students. So I'm going to click on here, and I have summer reading assignment, and that is tapping into my OneDrive right there. So you can see that it's uploading right here. It might take a moment, it might take a little longer, but I have this summer reading assignment AP research document. And right under it, it says students edit their own copy. Now, since I'm using this mainly as a task sheet, and I don't want students to change the information on the task sheet, this won't change it for me. This will just change it for them, but I don't want them to. I can click those 3 dots, and I can say students can't edit it, and then they can't edit it. And now it'll just be there, and they click on it, and they can't manipulate the text on it, but they can still see it. I could add more resources. So let's say I want to add a link, and let's say I want to... just for argument's sake, let's go to goodreads.com, and let's say one of the books that they can read is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. And I want to just provide a link to it. So just like normal, I can take this link, I can copy it, and I can go back over here, and I can paste it. Now I could just leave it like that, or I can enter here. So let's say the road description. I'll just write Goodreads, and I'll attach that. And it pops up right there. I can test it if I want. It goes right there. Let me click off of both of these now. And I can add some more resources. So I can click here. Now let's say I wanted to make a document where students can actually type in. So if I had something like a graphic organizer, or I had something that I had already made that's saved in my OneDrive, or I wanted to upload it from my computer, that I wanted the students to type in, I absolutely could make them. I could attach this and I can have it in there so that they can type in it. However, I don't have a document like that right now. So I'm going to add a new file, and I'm going to add a new Word document, and I'll call this one Summer Reading or Summer Assignment Answers, and I'll attach that. And it's going to immediately attach it, and it's going to have students edit their own copy, and I want them to actually type in this doc now. So I'm going to click this right here, just so that I can open the document and see what it looks like. And it's a blank document. Now, since I haven't assigned anything yet, I can manipulate this. So let's say I did want to build some places for them. Let's say I wanted to add a table in here. Let's put a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there we go. Cool. So let's say here I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I want them to put all their answers in these documents in this table right here. Cool. So I have that just like this, and I'm going to close this. So sometimes if I have like the students writing an essay, I may just send them a blank document with nothing in it. But if I wanted to put something like this in, I absolutely could. I can really make this whatever I want it. And I'm going to close it, and you could see that it's right there, Summer Assignment Answers, and boom, we're all right there. Now this popped back open, so I'm just going to hit that again so that it kind of doesn't go away, but just hides it. Now, I'm down here in points. Points is what you're really assigning to this. So if this was out of 100 points, I can put it there. If it was out of 5 points, I can put it there. If it was out of 50 points, I can put it there. There is a point system associated with this. However, if your school doesn't link up with a gradebook online, you might be like kind of doing double work where you're posting this stuff here in Teams and then you're posting it online as well. That comes down to a preference of what you do and what your school does. I know that it's easy for kids to log into here and kind of, if they're working in here, they can see their grades in here. So sometimes I do it in both places. It's double the work, but I think it kind of, kids can see it right in their face when they're using Teams and when they're doing their work and when they're logging in. However, there's also this add a rubric right here. I might make another video that goes a little bit deeper into this, but I have this journal check rubric that I had made for another class that I just kind of want to go in here and show you what it looks like. In Microsoft Teams, you can attach your own rubric and your own criteria. So I had copy and pasted a lot of this stuff in here, and I just want to show you what it looks like if I attach it. And here we go. So this is what it'll look like on the student's end. So I have this journal, right? This journal check rubric that I wouldn't assign for this assignment, but just to show you what it looks like. I have these criteria. I have, these, what I'm looking for, what constitutes a 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1. And you can really manipulate this so that it looks and says whatever you want. So if you, let's say, do a lot of DBQ essays and you want to use what we use here in New York State, the Regents rubric that is provided by the state, you can totally make one and save it in here and always use it for DBQ assignments. The same for thematic essays or really any rubric that you use. If you use a school-wide writing rubric and you want to transfer it into here, it might take you some time to do that, but it will be in here. And then when the students receive their grades back, you are actually clicking on the area that they got, and it gives a really nice, clear kind of rubric attached to each assignment. I'm going to close out of there. Now, when I do that, just know that I can't select points because it's going to come from whatever is on the rubric. But I'm going to hit that X because I just want to make this a quick 100 points. Now I'm going to come down here and go to assign to. Now if I go to assign to, and I click on that, you're going to see that I can add more classes to it. So let's say I wanted to go to this test team, I could, and you'll see here that it's 2 classes. So if you have multiple sections, you will see that you can do, if you have multiple sections, you can add this to multiple classes, and you won't have to make individual ones, which would be kind of annoying if you had to do that. But I'm going to just leave it for this AP class. You can, I tend to leave it on all students. There's only one student registered in this class that I put in there, Mr. Gordon. So if I click on there, it's not going to show one student selected, but because he's the only person in here. But if I did, it would do that. So if I was making an assignment like this where I wanted to collect it all from every single student, I would leave it on all students. But let's say Brad was turning in an extra credit assignment that I assigned just to him. I can make one of these, assign it just to Brad, and it'll only show up to him. But I'm going to leave it on that. And then this is your traditional due date, time due, that I can go in here. And let's say I want to make it due on the 30th. Or actually, let's make it due in September. Let's say Friday, September 13th at 11:59 p.m. And the assignment will post immediately with late turn-ins allowed. If I wanted to make late turn-ins not allowed, I can absolutely click that box and turn it off. But I'm going to leave it on just like that. So a couple of things can happen right here. If, let's say, I was like, you know what, I did all this work and I want to get rid of it, I click discard, I go away. I don't go away. The assignment goes away. If I click save, it will go to that draft folder that you saw in the assignments. Or I can click assign, which I am going to do. So I'm going to assign this, and it's going to start sending it out to all the students in the class. So you can see right here I have assigned, and if I click on that, it says summer assignment, 0 of 1 turned in. You can already see little box comes up here. I have this little @ over my team, and I have this activity over my team because it got sent out and notified everyone in the team that I posted an assignment. I don't have to go into the conversation thread. I don't have to do anything to change that. So let me click right here on the activity. I get a little message here saying that I have my assignments was mentioned in my AP research class. And it takes me right in here. I also have, let me just jump right into the team again. You could see that in the conversations thread, it posted summer assignment AP research with the due date, with view assignment. So when the kids click on it, they go right into the assignment and it takes them right there. You don't have to now make a post on the conversations thread separately saying, hey class, I posted an assignment. It does that work for you, which is really awesome. So I'm going to click on, if you click on view assignment, it's going to take you back to the assignments page. So let me go back just to here because I want to just quickly kind of go over how you grade assignments, which is a big part of once you assigned it. So I have here summer assignment for AP Research, 0 of 1 turned in. Now when I want to grade it, I click on it. It will tell me to grade, and then the ones that I have graded. Now there's only one person that has that I assigned this to because there's only one person in the class. But I'm going to click here, and it's going to bring me up the student's document with their work. Now, something that I can do is that, let's say the student, now this is the student's document. So whatever I type in here, the students are going to see automatically. So if I typed, let's say Brad had, answers in here and I wanted to leave a comment in his document, I could use the tools that Microsoft Word provides for me. I could leave a comment here. I could say, great answer to this question. And it goes right there and I could send that off. And that's actually manipulating his document so that when he goes in here, he'll be able to see it. This is good for more like individualized feedback, but if I wanted to provide more holistic feedback, like let's say everything was done, I could say, Brad, really great job with this assignment. However, you should revise the answer for question 2. Just for argument's sake, I'm making this all up because there is nothing there. And I could provide a grade in here as well. If I was making a grade, I could say, great, you got an 85. And now I can return this. Now what this is going to do on Brad's end is it's going to send him a notification saying, hey, Mr. Tofolo just returned my assignment and I have my grade, and he can go view that. So now I'm going to close this out because this is returned. And you can see that Brad has gone from 2 grade to now graded. So it says all done. Yay, awesome. I could always click here to see the student view, so that if I want to see the student view for that assignment, this is actually exactly what they would see and what they would click on. Like I have my reference material here in the student work, which is a new addition for this update of Microsoft Office 365. Okay, cool. So I have now Brad in there. If I wanted to go back to his work, I always could. I can just click back on here. If I wanted to revise his grade, I absolutely can. If I wanted to add more comments, if I wanted to change this, I could do all of these things, and it will automatically get sent over to him. I'm going to close that out, and I'm just going to go back, and you can kind of see here now that I have now stuff that assigned moved to graded, because I have completed all of the stuff that I needed to grade specifically for this class. So this is really it. This is how you create assignments. This is how you send assignments out. This is how you build assignments. This is how you add documents to them. This is how you grade them. And this is how you ultimately send things back. And my personal opinion is that this is kind of like the main course of why you use a learning management system. You know, in addition to communicating with students and sending files and collaborating, you want to kind of have a place where students can upload documents to you that you can receive digitally. If you have any questions at all about any of the things covered in this video or any of the previous ones, you can always contact me on Twitter at Mr. Tofts. You can email me at mrtofts@gmail.com. And if you're in my school, you can always email me my work email, or even come up and speak to me, and we can kind of hash out whatever you need to do. Thank you for your time. Take care.